So I'm shooting this on the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I got the Pocket 3 really on a whim. I got it about 3 weeks out from my first 100 mile ultra that I wanted to document. I'd previously had the Pocket 1, and the Pocket 1 I just stopped using because I found it to be painful to have to keep pulling it out of my pocket and take it out of the case and then turn it on and talk to it, and that it was not weather tight. And for the same reason I dismissed the Pocket 2 when it came out. I just didn't see it. I've had pretty much GoPros since the Hero 2. They've all had their faults, and each new GoPro that came out has improved on those. The biggest one for what I'm doing here, the biggest improvement was the in-camera digital image stabilization. At one point I did use GoPro's gimbal, mechanical gimbal, but that thing was huge and it just didn't work for this kind of work. Why did I get myself the Osmo Pocket 3? If I'm honest, it was the 1-inch sensor and it was this flip screen. The flip screen just looked cool. It looked like it would actually make this kind of work a whole lot easier. Yes, it still has the issues of having to take it out of the case. It's a whole lot bigger as well, makes it a whole lot more cumbersome to use, and it's not watertight, and that was an issue that really plagued me when I did my first 100 miler, because it rained and it stormed and it sleeted and there were all sorts of issues, which actually ended up having me give this to my support crew and put it back in the car, just because I was never able to pull it out the times that I wanted to. As a result, I ended up not documenting the first 100 kilometers of my 100 mile the way that I wanted. I took some footage on my mobile phone, on my iPhone, which was great, but it wasn't what I wanted. And to be honest, it was also on me. I didn't have enough time using this thing to actually learn how to get the best advantage out of it. Now that I've had time, really loving it. I'm actually going to carry this thing with me everywhere I go. What I'm finding is it's just easy for me to pull it out and do exactly what I'm doing right now, which is do a brain dump. I have this stuff floating around in my head all the time. I've made notes on my iPhone, I've done all sorts of different things to keep the ideas, but now I'm embracing the idea of vlogging. I'm embracing the idea of this device, the big screen. Yeah, like I said, it won't be my primary camera. I'll still use my GoPro. The Hero 11 Mini is my go-to right now. Size, capability, convenience, it's all there. It does what I need. The handle has a tripod built into it. I can add a tripod to the bottom of this, of course, but then it extends the size out even further and makes it a whole lot more convenient. Out on the trails, it doesn't really fit into my vest very well. There's a whole lot of things there that just make it not useful from that perspective. So I'll probably end up carrying 2 cameras with me, this one and a GoPro. Or I've been musing over the Insta360 One X3. That actually looks nice. I've got a GoPro Hero Max. It does a good job. It's a good camera. And the X3, honestly, the specs a little bit better, but not big enough for the specs alone to justify pulling it through. I'm intrigued by the software. Software looks good. Intrigued by the AI built into it. GoPro really needs to lift their game from that perspective. And the size, but like this camera, the screen also appeals to me a lot. So that'll be the next camera that I try out and see how I go on my way to documenting what will hopefully be my journey to UTMB, and if not, also documenting my trail wife and her first journey into her 100k. She's the reason I got into this. She's the one who I blame completely for my obsession with trail running. So we finally got her to step up to triple digits, do a first 100 kilometre. Who knows, maybe we'll get her to do a 100 mile afterwards. I won't hold my breath on that one. But we'll see. I'm all about trying to get this journey and doing it properly. In the past, I've done a half-assed effort. I've never been comfortable with doing this. with what I'm doing right now. And as I said before, note to myself, the more I do this, the easier it's becoming.